grasses over. I want the whole area grassed over.
You know what turf costs, Morris.
Would the public be granted access, Mr. Taylor?
Of course.
That means toilets and paved walkways.
And the hoarding. I want it repaired and painted.
What do you want painted on it?
What the hell do you think I want painted on it? The Opera House, the theatres, the restaurants, the hotels, the art galleries and the Queen Elizabeth Gardens. What it's got painted on it now, of course.
For decorative purposes.
This whole area is not only a disgrace, it's an open invitation to every property developer in the country. Get it cleaned up and keep it cleaned up until the finance for the Arts Festival complex becomes available.
No, Morris, it's been 5 years.
This is it? This is it?
That was to have been the nucleus of the festival complex. Opera house, theatre, galleries.
Good.
What do you think?
He's a fast mover. I like his style.
It could take you from a provincial developer to a national company.
All I want out of that fella's money for
Tom
the
Craig!
slats.
Hi, Mr. Kemp. It's in the bag. It's in the bag, old boy.
Yeah,
The crowd's
excuse us, Harry.
The crowd's saying all for it, provided we get the site. I promise them the site coming in.
What was all that about?
Nothing. He's been to Frankfurt. I gave him a couple of addresses. You know what Lewis is like.
Not really, I'm rather glad to say.
Couple of acres of turfing, 5 public toilets, 400 yards of crazy paving, a lily pond and 7 gazebos. Who the hell do you think I am? Bloggs the builder?
I just thought, since things...
I got contracts to build the whole festival complex on that site. You know that, Reg.
Let's face it, John, it's never going to be built.
What the hell does that matter? Those contracts go down in my annual report. What are the shareholders going to say if I put down all I've got left to build is half a dozen piss houses? Sooner or later, someone's going to wake up to what that site's worth. Sooner or later, someone's going to make an offer for that site, Rich.
Craig's made an offer.
Craig's as short of cash as any bugger else. I know that for a fact.
Turned up in a helicopter today. Morris was furious. Out on the site. Turned up in a helicopter with that damn Kemp woman and another fella. They have a look round, get back into the helicopter, then off again. Ostentatious, I call it.
Money? A money man? Who else do you think is going to show that site to? His own mother? If Craig gets his hands on that Slatterly site, my construction contracts are just so much toilet paper.
The only problem we've got is Annie Kemp. She gets one whiff of this, it'll be all round the council. Reg Palmer gets wind of it, I'll have John Roman breathing down my neck.
What's that?
I said I want my end of this deal kept quiet.
Ah, right.
There we are.
Here's to the Huns.
How long before you can deliver on the Slatterly site?
Albion turned me down flat. No sale, even for cash.
Hell, what are you going to do about that?
Go to the shareholders. There's a lot of dissatisfaction with the Albion management. There's no capital appreciation on that site while it remains undeveloped.
Yeah.
They're hanging on with Morris Taylor and his festival project.
You got your finance?
I'm talking to a merchant bank. Also happen to be advising 2 of Albion's biggest shareholders, Sobeck Pension Fund and Royal Sydenham Insurance.
Bring the bank in on the development deal.
Not at this stage, no. I can't talk development till I got the site purchase price tied up. Annie Kemp. She's my contact with the bank.
Can't you drop her out?
Once I've tied up the finance, yeah.
And you reckon that side of it's going to be okay?
I'm only asking for a 2 million line of credit. Chicken feed to this lot.
Huh.
I asked you to raise me £2 million, not introduce me to the Bank of England.
Basil Bastides is offering you growth, real growth.
Oh, yeah. I grow so big I have to ask a pension fund if it's OK to write a cheque.
Anyone running a company is answerable to his shareholders.
What if he owns most of the shares? He's not.
You just will not face it. You're still a one-man band.
I am, and still picking the tunes.
I think you'd be very unwise to reject his offer. He has only to pick up his phone and you could lose all chance of getting the Slatterly site.
He won't do that. Not while he thinks I'm on the hook.
You're very confident.
I'm a tasty morsel. He was looking at me, very hungry. I'll just string him along a bit, just in case I can't get hold of that 2 million on my own.
What good's that going to do you? He's already told you he'll advise his clients against accepting a cash offer.
We'll come to an arrangement. I've just got to go in there with the cash rather than ask him for it. Run along, Annie. I've got some thinking to do. Euston Station, then. Where's this money coming from?
The money's from Hong Kong.
What's he asking?
Shara Sud kya hogi?
25%.
The interest rate's 25%.
Per annum?
Salana?
नहीं कुल रकम का 25% एक ही दफा अदा करना होगा.
Not per annum. 25% of the sum loaned. That's £500,000, one payment.
He's got to be joking.
पहली ही देना है. न दिन के सूरत में एक दिन का 1% देना होगा.
क्या तुम्हारा दिमाग तो नहीं चल गया? ये शर्तें वो कभी नहीं मानेगा. कभी भी नहीं.
यही शर्तें हैं. मानो ये छोड़ दो.
Payable in advance, penalties for non-repayment on due date, 1% per diem.
Show him out.
I'm afraid I can see no other source of short-term money, Mr. Craig.
Haven't you got a rich uncle, Jamal?
That was my uncle, Mr. Craig.
Charlie? What's all this then?
Well, the word processor's going in over here. And that's the microfiche section. And the memory bank. We've got printout facilities and VDU. It's all software, of course, to be linked to the mainframe in the basement. Once that's been installed, we'll be completely independent of Bootle.
Bootle?
Well, we've been absorbed by the home and hearth side. Come and have a chat about it. Well, that's progress, I suppose, isn't it? Now then, what can I do for you?
I need £2 million, Charlie.
You need it rather badly too, don't you? I'm surprised you didn't ask for a bit more, actually. John Roman's been in. He's asked me to let him know if you come round looking for a loan. I'm to refuse you. No, don't go. That's a software terminal linked to the hardware at Bootle. I feed a proposal into the main computer and it says yay or nay. It's quite companionable, actually. When it turns me down, it says sorry. Now, home and hearth side policy is against giving loans unless fully secured on property.
I need cash for a down payment on a property deal. 90 days would do me.
We'd have to handle that as an investment in a joint venture. Prime site with planning permission attached. Valuation from a chartered surveyor. Construction cost estimates. Pre-letting contracts. I code it up, feed it in, and if it likes it, it prints out a cheque. However, I take it you don't have an agreement to purchase the site?
No. OK, I'll scratch around somewhere else.
No, don't go. It's only a machine, you know.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's not intelligent. It can't look you in the eyes. It can't make judgments. It does what it's programmed to do. No more, no less.
I couldn't afford to get mixed up in anything dodgy, Charlie.
Dodgy? My dear chap. What sort of interest rates were you thinking about?
I'd pay 20% per annum.
Leave it with me. I can't promise anything, but leave it with me.
Right.
I'll be in touch.
I come to you, Mr. Bastidis, for the same reason Craig came to you. And that reason is that you're advising these large shareholders of the Albion Development Company.
We do handle investment policy for them, yes.
The Albion management informed me that these large shareholders do not look with favour on the sale of the Slattery site to my company.
Quite possibly.
Not possibly, Mr. Bastidis, certainly.
So?
So the reason this venture's been bogged down so many years, with nothing done on the site derelict, is because the local planning authority, the council that is, and the Albion management are both committed to the Slattery Festival project. And the Slattery Festival project hasn't a hope in hell. Right, Rich?
Right. Never had a hope, really. And now, with the recession...
So long as planning policy remains as it is, then the site remains derelict.
So?
So Mr. Palmer here is chairman of the planning committee. Tell him, Rich.
Ah, yes, of course. It's simply that, were the sale to Mr. Roman to be approved, my planning committee would be agreeable to reconsider the future of the Slattery development site altogether. If you understand me.
What he means is that once we've got control of the site, then we can think about a proper commercial development. And never mind the bloody arts festival nonsense. I'm speaking confidentially, of course. So if you were to tip the wink to your shareholder friends, we're home and dry, aren't we?
I see. Well, thank you for letting me know your thinking on this project. I don't think I need to detain you further.
Would you believe it? I never did like those monsters from outer space.
You shouldn't talk about our city councillors like that, Charlie. Cheerio.
Fred, what are you going to do with yourself when you stop messing up this city?
Buy a boat and pot around the Med. Wait till I go gaga, then sail off into the sunset.
I wonder what sort of boat you'd get for £70,000 or £80,000.
Well, I wouldn't spend anything like that. I'm on my own now, you know.
It wouldn't be if I came with you.
What are you getting at, Charlie?
Remember the Plackett Estate Company?
What about it?
What if I fed it into my computer?
You can't do that. It's just a joke. It's always been a joke.
My computer hasn't got a sense of humour.
But we can't do that.
Why not? We spent a lot of money over the last few years keeping the documentation on that company up to date. We might as well try and get some of it back. 2 million. Not for us. We'll lend it to Tom Craig on a 90-day loan. Tom Craig pays us back. We feed the 2 million back into the computer. And nobody knows a thing about it.
We hang on to the interest, you mean? Oh, that won't work. You'll have to pay interest or it'll be spotted at once.
Don't worry about that. I'll invent a joint venture deal with a sale and lease back. We only pay 6% on that. Tom Craig will pay 20%.
That won't leave 70 or 80,000 for us, though.
It'll leave 50 or 60. Don't be so greedy.
Hey, what a joke, though. I bet nobody's ever put one over on Tom Craig like that before. Can you do it?
I don't know. We might as well give it a try. See, joint venture project, Craig City Partnerships, Plackett Estate Company Limited. Stage 1, £2 million initial. Authentication, please. Right. I've got to feed the land registry certificate number in, the chartered surveyor's valuation, our new planning permit number. My authentication on that.
Is that all?
Should be.
Then why isn't it doing anything?
Don't know. Oh, silly me, I'll forget my head next. Look, identification and command status. Look, it's asking me for it. It's a clever little thing.
It said yes.
It's printing out the check.
This company, Mr. Craig, the Plackett Estate Company Limited, have you never heard of it?
No, why?
The title doesn't suggest an investment company.
You heard what Charlie Sproul said. It's a subsidiary handling petrodollar investments.
Yes, Mr. Craig. But the cheque isn't drawn on a Plackett Estate Company account, Mr. Craig.
It's payable to Craig City Partnerships.
Yes, Mr.
It's
Craig.
for £2 million sterling.
It is, Mr. Craig.
Bank it. Get it specially cleared.
Yes, Mr. Craig.
You better face up to it, Morris. It's not the management who control Albion. It's the shareholders. Those shareholders are hungry and impatient. Anyone puts up an offer on the right terms, the shareholders are going to vote to accept it. There's nothing you can do to stop them.
Anyone meaning you?
I've got the money, and I'm pushing through a deal. Better make up your mind who you want to see owning this site. John Roman's scratching around, you know.
You've just been telling me I've no say in who takes over the site.
Any developer who can tell the Albion shareholders he's got the backing of the local authorities halfway there, you know that.
I'll back any developer will assume the present undertakings which we now have with Albion Developments to build the festival complex as our current planning orders require it to be built.
There's no law says you can make a developer build you an opera house, Morris.
There's a law says I can stop him building anything else, though.
No. No, not stop. Delay.
All right, delay. I've waited for 5 years to see the festival complex built. I can afford to wait another 5. Can you?
No. No, I can't. You know what you're waiting for, don't you? You're waiting for your own bloody funeral.
Look, I'd be nice to give you reason. I don't have to justify my actions to you, however.
It's Mrs. Kemp who's got in there, Chef.
Molly!
Letter from Bastides, where is it?
Got your intercom, Mr. Craig. Kindly use it and don't go shouting at me in your bad temper.
Which letter's that, Mr. Craig?
The letter accepting our deposit of £2 million. What else?
It's on your desk, Mr. Craig.
No, it's not. That's why I'm not accepting his offer, because I've made him a better one.
Which he appears not to have accepted.
Well, he's taken the money, hasn't he?
To be held on deposit by the bank, pending the outcome of your negotiations with ourselves on behalf of clients. What negotiations? I thought I was supposed to be representing you with Mr. Bastides. Why have I been kept in ignorance of this?
No time. I've got a deal ready to tie up.
What kind of deal?
It's complicated.
I'll do my best to follow your explanation. Very well. Let's start with this £2 million. How did you raise the money? What are the conditions regarding repayment, term of the loan, interest rate? What have you arranged with Mr. Bastides about returning the deposit if negotiations break down? Is the bank paying...
Ellie, get off my back, will you?
What precisely do you mean by that?
I mean, I'm in a squeeze situation. There's more than one party involved. I'm playing it very close to me, Jess.
You've never done anything else since I've known you. The only reason you take me into your confidence is when you need me to get you out of trouble.
Right, that's what you're paid for, isn't it?
I have the right to know what's going on, Tom!
The only right you have is to take care of my interests with the council. I've got plenty of other friends on your party and the other one. You're not indispensable, you know. What's the matter with you?
It may be unwise to antagonise Mrs. Kemp. She could prove very troublesome.
Oh, for God's sake, don't you start, Jamal. You look after the books and I'll look after the trouble, all right?
As you say, Mr. Craig.
I've been awake all night. I couldn't sleep worrying over Craig finding out about the Plackett estate.
Why should he? He's got his money, hasn't he?
There are all those different bank accounts.
Well, for God's sake, relax. At the most, it'll be 3 months, then Craig pays us back. We put the money in the computer and we're back where we started. Only considerably better off.
What if he doesn't pay it back?
Of course he'll pay... Ah. Craig's in it as deeply as we are. If he refuses to pay up, we'll tell him we'll go to home on our side and tell them he thought the whole thing up. Conned us into it. He'll be party to a £2 million fraud.
Hello, Annie. You're up early.
Tom, you and I must have a serious talk.
Yeah, sure, but not now, Annie.
Now, Tom.
Barely time to catch me plane.
I'll drive you to the airport.
I've got my car outside.
Then I'll ride with you.
Annie, please, whatever you've got to say can wait, can't it?
I thought you and I might settle our differences sensibly, but I see that we can't. I'd like to be released from my contract with your firm, Tom.
All right, Annie. If that's what you want. Give me a call next week.
Oh, Mrs. Kemp, you didn't talk with me a turn.
British Midlands, final departure call for flight BD 211 to Frankfurt.
Frankfurt's gate 4. They're holding the doors closed. You'll have to bring your cases on the plane.
Immediately to gate number 4.
Morning. Money,
What?
you've been messing about with my computer again.
No, I flipping haven't. Well, this would have been Mrs. Kemp. She was in here when I come in this morning.
What?
I said Mrs. Kemp might have. She was in here when I come in this morning.
That loan company, Placket Estates Limited. Did you check them out as I asked?
It's not in any of the directories.
Get on to our commercial intelligence people then, would you? Full details.
Like what?
Now they know what to do. As soon as possible, please.
It's clever, Annie. Very clever. I like it. A counter offer with no need for a cash outlay. Even if Bastides won't accept it, it'll certainly hold up Craig's deal. Now, you mentioned Craig's loan contract.
He's extremely vulnerable. If he defaults on his loan payments, he could be forced into liquidation.
So you want me to take over his loan contract from Sproul?
If you can raise the 2 million and interest charges.
It'll mean getting into hock up to my neck. But still. Right, you're on. I'll get Reg Palmer to have a word with Charlie Sproul.
No, Mr. Roman, I'd rather approach Mr. Sproul myself. I happen to be familiar with the terms and conditions of the loan.
Which are?
It's a short-term loan, 90 days at 20% per annum.
With thread workers?
No, this loan is with a subsidiary, the Placket Estate Company Limited. Do you know the company?
Do I know the company?
Yes, Mr. Roman. Do you know the Placket Estate Company?
No, never heard of them. No, it means nothing to me.
Well, do you want me to go ahead and acquire the loan on your behalf?
Acquire it? Yes, acquire it. As soon as you can. 2 million quid plus charges. Yes, I think I can manage that.
What's that? Telex on that company he asked me to check up on.
Thanks.
It's a perfectly simple transaction, Mr. Sproul. You simply transfer Mr. Craig's loan to Roman contractors, who will repay it with full interest and charges at once, instead of your having to wait for the money. I have here a form of assignment, if you'd care to glance at it.
I haven't got the authority, Mrs. Kemp. Anything like this has got to be referred to head office. But personally, by letter, could take days. Might even have to go before the board. Let me have the details in writing, Mrs. Kemp, and I'll see what can be done.
I can give them to you now.
Mrs. Kemp, I've got to go out. I've got an appointment. In writing, please, and I'll give it my full attention.
Very well.
Title deeds?
Title deeds? Here is a certified copy of an extract from the land registry, approving title lies with the company. You're really only entitled to see the planning application and consents, you know. But since I do happen to have these other documents on the file...
The estate would be worth about £3 million as development building land, wouldn't you say?
Oh, it would, certainly.
One could certainly borrow 2 million on it.
Well, yes, I suppose one could.
I mean, since all the documentation's in order.
Oh, it is.
Well, thank you, Mr. Hinckley. I appreciate your help. Tell me, Mr. Hinckley, has the Placket Estate Company ever, to your knowledge, been employed as a vehicle for petrodollar investment? Not within the purview of your department?
Not as you say, within the purview of my department. could I have done? Just tell me what I ought to have done. I mean, he's entitled to see the planning file, isn't he?
You didn't have to show him everything, did you?
He'd have smelt a rat right away if I'd refused. But as it was, he seemed quite satisfied. All the documentation's in order.
For the computer it is, you idiot. Craig's not supposed to know we raised the money on the Plackett estate, on the land. I told him the money came from petrodollar investments. For the Arabs.
I see. Wait a minute. If you transferred the loan to that Mrs. Kemp, she'd pay us the money back, wouldn't she?
Yes.
Then we could put it back in the computer and we'd be out of it.
No, we wouldn't. She's acting for John Roman.
Oh, God. What are we going to do?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay out of the way until that loan matures and Craig has to pay us back.
Well, what about me?
You sit tight. Nobody's going to bother you. It's me that woman's after.
Where will you be? What if I've got to get in touch with you?
I'll be at home. Back trouble. If anything turns up, ring me at home, and I'll meet you down here where we're not likely to be spotted by anybody who knows us.
Charlie Sproul! Just the chap. And Fred. I wish you'd told me you're interested in this sort of thing. I'd have got you a pass. I'm a trustee, you know. Excuse us just a moment, chaps, would you? Now, Charlie, it's about this loan you made to Craig. John Roman's very concerned about it. Now, Charlie, I understand that Mrs. Kemp has actually been along to see you and offered to take over the loan on behalf of Roman contractors.
Jamal! You know Mr. Raphael, don't you?
Mr. Craig?
We've stitched up an agreement.
Mr. Craig, what?
Yeah, just listen a minute, please. It's a three-cornered deal between Mr. Raphael's company, the Germans, and ourselves. There's the heads of agreement.
Mr. Craig, I must speak to you.
All right, just pay attention. I want you to go through that, check it out for any financial snags, then knock it into some sort of shape for the lawyers. We'll need 3 separate sets of contracts, as you'll see. We'll also want a financial projection for Mr. Bastides. That'll have to include construction cost estimates. The Germans are supplying the drawings, but the specifications will have to be adapted for the site. All this is going to take time, longer than we planned, so we'll be looking for an extension on the loan. Get on to Charlie's
Mr. Craig, would you come into my office for a moment?
It's all right, son. I'm just going. Any problems with the Albion over the site, you let me know, won't you?
Yeah, sure, but I can't foresee any.
Good. Get your skates on, will you? You heard what the crowd said to me? I don't want to lose out of mind of the deal through any hang-ups on your side.
Don't worry, I'm paying 20% on my cash. I want this wrapped up as quickly as you do.
Oh, by the way, how much did I owe you for that last night? Must have set you back a bit, didn't it?
Well...
All Mr. Craig's expenses are chargeable to the firm, Mr. Raphael. There's no need to worry, whatever.
OK. But next time it's on me, right? I'll see you.
What the hell's got into you, Jamal?
Would you please come with me, Mr. Craig? Please, Mr. Craig, while there's still light.
The Plackett Estate Company owns the Plackett Estate. The Plackett Estate consists of 65 acres. Title deeds are in order. Planning permission has been granted and renewed. There's a certified valuation of almost £3 million based on its development as a residential estate.
So what's the problem?
The directors of the company are Charles Sproul and Frederick Hinckley. That's the Plackett Estate, Mr. Craig. I very much doubt that it handles petrodollar investments.
The attraction of Craig's scheme is that it involves us in purely financial operations, the kind of operations we understand, leaving the property development side of it to Craig, who, you will agree, has a successful record and a good deal of experience. Romans is a construction company with little experience of financial operations or property development. I can't see us seriously considering a counteroffer from Roman.
I'm not advising Roman to make a counteroffer to match Craig's. Roman is prepared to make a bid to take over the Albion company as a whole.
Can't see that that's too attractive either.
Roman will offer 3 of his company shares for every Albion share held by your clients. This will result in your clients owning a controlling interest in the Roman company.
That still leaves the question of the company's lack of experience in the property field.
I have the necessary experience in that field since I've been closely associated with Craig for a number of years. My work on the council gives me an insight into development from the local authority angle. I chair the key council committee.
You'll be acting as advisor to Roman?
My present understanding with Roman is informal and temporary. I imagine the bank will want to appoint a representative to the Roman board with overall control of financial and property development.
Ah, I'm beginning to see daylight. The proposition is worth considering, certainly. Mind you, I wasn't all that impressed by Roman and that lawyer of his.
Roman can be dispensed with once the takeover's completed.
All right. I suggest you submit that offer straight away to the Albion board. It'll take time for them to consider it and to submit it to their shareholders. In the meantime, I'll sound out my clients and get a first reaction from them. This is bound to cause delay, and I'll have to keep Craig informed about what's going on. It's odd. There aren't many women in merchant banking. Pity, really, because they tend to do very well. You must understand that I have to examine the Roman bid so that I can then decide which offer to recommend to my clients.
Well, what happens if you recommend they accept it? This lot's up the spout then, is it?
You and Mr. Craig have details of the Roman offer. After you've studied it, you may find it possible to improve the terms of your own proposals.
I don't see how you're going to compare them. Roman's offering a takeover and we're concerned with a cash sale.
That is precisely what we have to examine. I don't think I've anything to add to that today. Leave it with me and I'll be in touch as soon as I've consulted with the Albion board and my clients. Perhaps I might have a word with you, Mr. Craig. If you'll forgive us, I shan't keep you waiting long. Mr. Raphael has a point. So I wonder if it wouldn't simplify things for everyone if you were to reconsider making a takeover offer for Albion yourself.
With your support?
Certainly. With the bank behind you, we could tie up an agreed takeover with the Albion board very quickly. You would have to offer slightly better terms than Roman, but I can't see Roman making a fight of it. He's very overextended already.
On what conditions?
We would take your $2 million and use it to buy Albion shares to give us a footing. And then we would underwrite your bid in exchange for shares in your company.
I lose control.
Oh, come, Tom. We like your style of management. Just maintain your present record and you won't find us bad bedfellows.
I'm not going to let Bastides push me into a takeover bid. Got to wipe John Roman out of it. Annie Kemp's behind that, of course. Bloody woman.
I hesitate to point out, Mr. Craig, that I did warn you of Mrs. Kemp's danger as an adversary.
I need to see Roman's file. The way that sod's run his business the last 20 years, there's got to be plenty of dirt. We'll dig it out and bury him.
You and I, Mr. Craig, may know of a number of informal arrangements which Mr. Roman's made through Mr. Palmer with local councillors and others. But from the purely business point of view, there's nothing with which he can be reproached. And while on this subject, may I point out that we ourselves might not bear too close investigation.
What do you mean by that?
We've suppressed knowledge of a fraudulent transaction. The Blackhead estate.
Our loan isn't secured on the Blackhead estate, Jamal. It's with the Blackhead estate company. So where's your fraud?
There can be no doubt that Mr. Sproul obtained the 2 million he loaned us by fraudulent means.
We don't know that for certain, and neither does anyone else. And even if it does come out, Charlie Sproul can do his own explaining. He doesn't need me to help him.
If it ever comes out that we're in any way involved, I doubt whether Mr. Bastides, for one, will bother about listening to explanations, whether from us or from Mr. Sproul.
For God's sake, Jamal, will you stop nagging? You're worse than a bloody woman. It's John Roman we got to worry about, not Charlie bloody Sproul.
How'd you get on, Reg?
The Bootle side, they don't know anything about a loan to Craig.
Bootle?
Home and Hearthside head office. It isn't a loan agreement. It's a development deal between Craig City Partnerships and the Blackhead Estate Company, with Home and Hearthside coming in on a sale and leaseback on the site. The first payment of 2 million is subject to a 90-day opt-out. Interest at 6%.
Doesn't make sense.
I seem quite happy about it.
Happy about it? With a site under 40 feet of water? How can they? Jesus Christ, it's a fiddle. It's got to be a fiddle. Tom Craig and Charlie Sproul. We've got it. Oh, have we got it? By the short and curlies.
But you can't tell Home and Hearthside about it, can you? I mean, we don't want anybody poking about, do we?
We've nothing to worry about, old pal. That's all water under the bridge. Hear what I said, Reg? Water under the bridge. Anyway, who's going to say anything about it? You don't think Charlie Sproul's got up this big gob, do you? Get me Tom Craig, will you, please?
You big bastard! How did you expect to get away with a ham-fisted job like that, eh?
What do you mean John Roman knew about it all along?
Well, we bought the company off him. John Roman, Cyril Sharp and Reg Palmer. They were the original directors. And when Cyril Sharp died, we bought the company. Fred Inkley and me. Compensation had already been paid.
Compensation?
Well, that was the whole idea. They knew it was going to be flooded.
Mr. Sproul! We're all waiting. We're losing badly and it's your turn to bowl.
Later. I can't talk to you now. I'll talk to you later.
What am I going to do about it, Tom? Well, I'm not too sure. I could go to Home and Hearthside, of course, but that'd mean a lot of fuss and bother, wouldn't it? And none of us wants fuss and bother, do we, Tom?
I certainly don't.
So I thought we might be able to settle things amicably.
Why not?
That's a nice little business, yours, Tom. A bit strapped for cash like all of us. But that's to be expected when you're expanding in property, isn't it? Mainly on a sale and lease back, I take it.
Mainly, yes.
I did hear a whisper that you had a client for the Slatterly side, Tom.
You don't want to believe all you hear, John.
Well, I can't see that banker Bastides getting behind you if you haven't. Let's say I take over Albion Developments. On the deal I would be offering, then the large Albion shareholders would just about end up owning my company.
That's right.
On the other hand, Tom, if I did a deal with you on a 2-for-1 share basis, a merger I mean, not a takeover, then the combined voting shares of our two companies would always outvote the Albion people, right?
2 for 1 would leave me with less than 30% of Craig City partnerships.
You can't have everything, Tom. 30%'s a fair measure of control.
Do you mind if I talk to Annie Kemp about this?
Not at all. Very bright woman is Annie Kemp.
That's what I'll do then. You'll be hearing from Annie. Must have been a bit of a job keeping your hands clean in those days. It was a typical Cyril Sharp fiddle when he was leader of the Labour group. He heard about the reservoir, tipped off John Roman. They formed a company, bought up cheap agricultural land before anyone else knew it was going to be flooded. And they got Reg Palmer to push through planning permission for a residential estate. Then they got paid compensation by the Water Authority on the basis of prime development land. Cleaned up a fortune.
I see. You can prove all this, of course.
Company was never wound up. When Cyril Sharp died, Charlie Sproul took over Thread Workers and came across the company file. He and Fred Hinckley bought it off Reg Palmer.
And Sproul has a complete record of all these transactions, is that what you're saying?
He has. Title deeds, land registration certificate, planning permit. Old Hinckley used to get Reg Palmer to renew it whenever it expired. Reg never knew what he was signing, of course. And they kept the valuations up to date. Quite an expensive joke, all in all.
A very expensive joke. I suppose you expect me to inform Mr. Bastides of all this?
It's up to you, isn't it? You know the rules about takeovers. You're legally bound to disclose any matter affecting John Roman's business record or that of his company, which the Albion people ought to know about. But if I were you, I'd be inclined to leave it to John Roman.
Withdraw my bid? You've got to be joking.
I see nothing humorous in this affair, Mr. Roman.
Oh, come on, Annie. Craig's in this as deep as I am. Deeper. We only cleaned up a couple of 100,000. He's taken home on our side for 2 million.
Mr. Craig has already made a full disclosure of his transaction with Mr. Sproul to the bank. Mr. Bastides has accepted his explanation and is satisfied that Mr. Craig was at no time involved in the fraud.
I don't get it. Craig was party to the deal. Reg Palmer told me he was.
I can't answer for the accuracy of Mr. Palmer's information. The only way in which I can conscientiously refrain from passing on the information about your company is for you to authorize me to tell the Albion board that you're withdrawing your offer. You have 24 hours in which to make up your mind.
I don't believe it. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I simply wouldn't believe it. How on earth did Sproul get away with it?
Wet or dry, it's all the same to a computer. I've been thinking about what you were saying about a takeover bid.
For Albion, but surely now you're cashed.
Not Albion. Roman contractors.
My dear chap, what on earth for? The firm's practically bankrupt. Its shares went through the floor when it pulled out of the Albion bid.
Make a nice cheap buy then, won't it? And I can pay cash and all, can't I? So I'll just need the bankers' advisors. You follow?
Perfectly, old chap.
There's quite an art to this, isn't there?
It's a bias, you have to allow for it.
I've paid the money back, Charlie. Bootle were very understanding about it.
What am I going to do?
I don't know, Charlie. I hear Fred Hinckley sold up everything and bought a boat. He's off around the world. Maybe we should think about joining him. But I should move a bit sharpish if I were you.